Hey everybody, today we're going to look at some legato exercises, just kind of basic exercises, some using the pentatonic scale and some using 3 notes per string fingerings. If you haven't done a lot of legato, these exercises won't only strengthen your left hand a lot, but they'll add a whole new dimension and sound to your playing to make you're playing a lot more fluid, and you'll be able to just create, not such a percussive sound when you pick a string. When you're doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, it creates a very connected and smooth sound that I'm sure you would want to use at times. So hopefully you'll go through it and get it down, and then we'll be able to take it further with more legato exercises that we'll have in the advanced section of the site. All right, have fun. Bye-bye. All right, our first legato lick that we're going to look at here of the 5 that is in the PDF download that you can get at guitarlessons365.com, so you can follow the lesson. It's going to be based on pentatonic forms. It's 2 notes per string legato lick that we've already covered the pentatonic scales on the site, and just if you haven't done it yet, just do a search on pentatonic and you'll find them. And here we go. So this first one is basically going to start with your first finger at the 5th fret. We're doing the shape built off the 6th here. So we're going to sit there and we're going to hit an upstroke on the 5th fret of the first string, hammer on your pinky at the 8th fret, pull back off, and then you're going to pick a downstroke on the 2nd string. Now when you're doing these hammer-ons and pull-offs, the idea is to not really so much, it's kind of hard if that kind of positioning is kind of awkward. You can do, if you have your thumb up here, you can really angle your hand. You can do some legato, but you're kind of limited to just like 2 notes on a string legato. So for most legato, it's more comfortable to have your thumb actually be placed almost right in the middle of the back of the neck. And that makes your fingers go up, gives you a little bit more space between the inside of your palm and the bottom of the fingerboard. And it allows your fingers to really start to be able to use. The actual strength of the hand comes from these big knuckles right here, not the middle of the fingers, down at the base of your fingers. That's where the strength comes in. So if you're up like this, you kind of take those out of play. So you lower your hand down. That's why legato is easier with getting some space in there. So anyway, here's the lick. We're going to start with an upstroke, and you'll basically see these first legato exercises. We're going to be picking the first note on every string. So if there's only 1 note on a string, we'll pick it and then we'll go to the next. So we have an upstroke, then hammer, pull, and then come down with your pinky on the 2nd string with a downstroke, and then go right back to the upstroke again and repeat that again. And be sure when you do a hammer on, try to land right up against the fret that you're hammering into, and then when you come back down, you pull off, it's like picking the string. You got to be flicking it down. Make them nice and loud. And that note's just going to be picked. So we got this 4 times. Then take it down the scale. All right. Now I want you to do that with all the pentatonic forms, with the basic fingerings that we have written out in the shapes, and then practice them with the 3, 1, first finger and 3rd finger too, since it's a very common way to play pentatonics as well. Right here you probably wouldn't want to do it. Anyway, use common sense and you'll know what to do. All right, the second exercise is based 2 notes per string, pentatonic scales too. It's basically going to be the reverse of this. We're going to start with a hammer on and pull. We're going to start with a pull first, hammer back on, and then go to the higher string, and then come back down. So we start with a downstroke at the 8, pull off to 5, back to 8, and then up to the 1st string, and then repeat it. Now you'll notice that on the paper I have 2 string sets and then I stop. I'm expecting you to take it through the entire form. I didn't write them all out because, you know, that would kill a lot of trees. So just basically take it across all the string sets and all the pentatonic forms and play them in many different areas of the neck, not just right here. I'm just using this for example's sake, and you need to move it to everywhere else. But it should be pretty self-explanatory. All right, so those are the 2 pentatonic shapes. Now we're going to get into like we're having 3 notes in the left hand in these next 3 exercises. Now I've done 3 notes per string scales on the site in the advanced section, but you may want to, especially after you get a handle on this little exercise, start going over there and learning those guys. There's 7 scale forms, and it basically lays out your major scales, all 3 notes per string. And then you can take these exercises we do and actually play them through the scale form, just like we're doing the pentatonic scale here. But I'm assuming you don't know those, so basically the 3 ways we actually finger those 3 notes per string scales, we're going to practice that instead in legato. So here's how it's going to start. It's going to use the notes 5, 7, and 8 on the first string, and then so it's your first finger, third finger, and fourth finger. You're going to pick your third finger at the 7th fret, hammer on 8, pull back off to 7, and then pull off to 5. So it's a 4-note lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just start each group of 4 with a downstroke. And then take it down to the next string and take them all across all 6 strings. All right, and then you can come back up too. All right, now we're going to use, instead of 1, 3, 4, we're going to use 1, 2, 4. And do the same exact exercise. Now, one thing I want you to notice, you see how my fingers are kind of trying to keep them in line as much as possible. Don't have like your one finger doing this, you know, when you're like kind of pulling in. That means you got some tension in your hand. You want to train your fingertips to stay relatively even so you're always prepared to go. And then we're going to spread it out into a 1, 2, 4 shape again, but we're going to back that first finger up 1 fret. So there's a whole step span between each one, okay? And keep this third finger just sitting there in the middle. All right, obviously you don't have to do them that fast, but I just wanted to get through the lesson through all 5 exercises. And this will really start, this is a great warm-up, great technique workout. Like I said, if you don't know those 3-note per string scale forms, we'll just take these 3 shapes we just did on exercises 3, 4, and 5 and play them in many different areas of the neck. Up here, it takes more strength to play, so it's very good to practice them up here, and coordination. So, and then the other exercises are pentatonics, which you know, and you should be able to move across all pentatonic forms all over the neck. And this will really start, if you haven't had a lot of legato work, it'd be really good to get you going and to get to more advanced where we start shifting around and you do hammer-ons from nowhere where you don't pick any notes at all. So that'll be coming soon. All right, so have fun with this, comment, go to guitarlessons365.com, please support the site. I'd appreciate it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.